Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this surprise card read and intuitive messages extravaganza. Yes, it is in honor of the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction in Taurus. I know you've heard of it. It's a big deal, and we are here. We're here, and it's so exciting. Take that in. It is so exciting. You may have been bracing for it. You may have heard everything that's happened in the past in this conjunction. This is a once in a lifetime conjunction. It hasn't happened for like 2,500 years. Don't quote me on that. And we're going to be working with these energies for at least the next 6 months, right? So a lot of astrologers are talking about it based on what has happened in the past. That's no longer our reality, right? In this new Earth revolution or evolution, we are creating history. We are rewriting the story. We are building new systems from a love frequency, right? From a unity consciousness, from a multidimensionality. And that's unfortunately staying in the past and stuck in the past is what got us to the places that we're breaking through now, right? So thank you to Uranus. I am in all kinds of surprise energy and motivation with the Mars action and acceleration behind it, where we're moving. And so I'm sure you've noticed the messages are just like banging out of me right now. Remember the new moon message, the Leo new moon, which we're still feeling that energy? It was all about impermanence. Here we are. This is the change. So this is the joy in change, because without change, we see what we're stuck in, right? So it's a place of trust in the process, because when astrology comes hard hitting like this, it's because it's a co-creation with us, right? So we've done so much work, then astrology comes in and shakes things up to a pretty big degree, because we're ready for it. We can handle it, right? Maybe it's the fact that there are enough people in the ripple effect that are holding the higher light frequency, that are ready to take in the new energy and evolution and light that's coming onto the planet, integrate it and bring it into our physicality, bring it into form, right? That's the work that we're doing. And so this is where these huge aspects, especially the once in a lifetime ones that create change that will ripple out for lifetimes, come at the divine time. So instead of bracing for them, because when we brace or resist something that's coming in, we never get the full glory of it, right? Because we're only allowing certain parts in because we don't have the space in our body if there's tension. But if we're in trust and flow of really the divine time of everything that moves in our system, in our journey, in the universe, then we are ready to pivot and move and adapt with what's coming in. And we have the full availability within our systems, right? Within our, I want to say like machines. It's like higher dimensional machines that do the work here. That's our job as humans. We're doing the work here on this planet in the physicality, but we're in co-creation with our multidimensional self, with the higher consciousness and the higher dimensional realms, with the guides, the spirits, the intelligent life, all of it. It all comes together in a synergy to work in a timelessness, which is why this is a lifetimes of unfolding that comes to be. But we are in a pivotal crux and change in history here, and we have big jobs to do. So let's get to it. Because of this big new surprise energy, the new strikes of Uranus that are accelerated by Mars, moving towards our higher destiny in Taurus, which is the North Node, I brought in a card deck that I haven't used in a while. It's my energy card deck, and I thought I would do a read from this. And also because of the deep earth energies that we're moving towards, I did bring in my earth cards, you know, that I love, for clarifier on what we're doing. So I'm just going to do a big read for us today and see what's coming through, because I hope you're noticing all of the messages like pouring through in nature right now. In one day, I had 2 fox crossings, 1 beaver crossing, and then the next morning, a goldfinch crossing. It was really incredible, and I'm just feeling so appreciative of those messages that came through, and they were poignant, they were precise, and I heard them loudly. So let's see, I'm going to do my favorite card spread here. I don't usually have time to do bigger card spreads on these reads, but let's see how it can go. This is called the mountain spread, and I like it for where we are and where we're going. You know, sometimes card reads that bring in the past, again, when we focus so much on the past, sometimes we can get stuck in it. And we don't get into the innovation that's coming through in this aspect. Uranus is all about innovation. It's in the 11th house, the ruler of the 11th house, which is about our sovereignty, how we're bringing our sovereignty to the collective and higher technologies and higher consciousness. So I want us to be in the space of like truly moving forward, you know, honoring the past for everything that it has brought and done and created. And now we move into what's new, what we can create from here moving forward, our imagination energy, right? The wonder and awe, the curiosity. So let's see, I think I've got enough here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, yes, yes. And then I'm just gonna grab a clarifier card right now because that's where I got moved to. So I am just getting lightning epiphanies. They are coming through. I'm not even sleeping because there's so many. Okay, I got the clarifier card there. Okay, so we are all looking for balance, right? So especially when we go through major shifts and upheavals of the energy, and as our cells continue to evolve right now, maybe even faster than our mind can keep up with, because our mind might want to keep us in this place of resistance because it's perceived safety or security. And so we might be seeking that balance. And that's a great place to be. And I want you to seek it holistically, right? Seek it on every level, fully in your sensory capacity, right? So if you're only seeking that balance through your mind, then you're creating this space of working something out based on what has happened in the past. So I'd love for you to seek out the balance that's around you now in these moments, in this energy, right? In your nature, in your, I just got the message of like your stomach, right? And maybe that's the vagus nerve. So that's your nervous system, right? I feel like that's where we're going in a place of balance, because the more we move into a beautiful nervous system balance, the more that we're available for what's to come, and we're in that space of trust. And so what are the tools and resources that we're needing? And the card is appreciation. And I love this because actually I just heard something fantastic from, hi honey, Beezus came in to say hello, through Abraham Hicks, and I loved what was said about gratitude versus appreciation, because we're always told to like be so grateful and be in gratitude. And Esther said, when you're in gratitude, you're thinking about what was off balance or what you don't want to have, right? So it's creating that frequency of duality. When you're in appreciation, you're just in a full space of appreciation for what is. And that really struck me deeply. And I've started to rework that within my system in a holistic way, to really take it in to my cells and fully be in the energy and frequency of that. How do we begin? And this is an interesting card because it's a woman holding a coin. And we have so much of the divine feminine coming online right now. I'm not a numerologist, but I know there's a lot of numerology that is just bursting through for the divine feminine energy, which is receptivity, intuition, emotionality, feeling, trust, right? Moving with your intuition and your gut instinct, those impulses, like honoring the impulses and trusting them and taking those risks based on that feeling that you have, not necessarily the calculations. So, you know, there may be something in your life happening that's moving either energetically, physically, or even financially through that divine feminine energy. So I don't necessarily, and maybe it is an actual female identifying human in your life that is offering you money in some way, assistance and support some way financially, or moving forward in ways that are going to break through in your business, like a partnership. But to me, it feels more like breaking through in your business in that divine feminine energy, in that intuitive trust steps, like the intuitive trusting steps that take you into new areas that maybe your, I don't want to say fear mind, but maybe your calculated mind would not have let you go. But they're going to create a level of expansion that you would not have got to in the resistance. So that feels right for that. And what are the challenges? Interesting card for challenges, which is cornucopia. So the message that I just got for that is the challenge is you allowing the abundance in, right? Because if we're so linear in where we're going and how we're going to get there, this is the important piece, how we're going to get there, which is the journey, the path, then we have a finale in mind, right? But what I'm getting right now is the abundance is so much more than what we're expecting at the end. But if we stay on that linear path, we're only going to create the energy of what we want to produce in that, like A plus B equals C. But in reality, there's a cornucopia of abundance waiting for you. Like there's wealth in every aspect of the energy there. And that takes the combination of what we're going through here and opening up to the flow and the trust and the impulses that come through that are that intuitive and innate knowledge and knowingness in your soul that you've been told through your education is risky, right? But it's in those, like, I just got like those, and this is Taurus, those beautiful risks that come, look at that card, that come the light and the expansion and the abundance. And you know, I know you've probably heard so much lately with this conjunction about food supply issues and inflation and things like that. And this is telling me that when we keep ourselves in our heart spaces, our heart activation, right? Which is really in this Leo energy that we're in right now, the Leo season and the Leo new moon that's carrying us into this aspect, this conjunction. We grow. We can only grow from there. And we can only adapt in beautiful ways. But if we're staying in the past of what always has been, then we are going to feel the lack and loss of what that is. And that needs to go, right? Are you following me here? So it's like there's this whole world opening up to us, because there's always, when one door closes, another door always opens. Like there's always new information and a new path. We're spiral dimensional beings. It's never finite, and that is a BS narrative that we got sold. So that is interesting. And what are the lessons that we're learning here? And this is all about your intuition. Believe me, the more that you trust yourself in these impulses and the more that you act on them, the deeper you send the signal and message of trust, not only to yourself, but to the universe and to that co-creative energy. And then it gets stronger. I know, because I've been doing it. I've been in this journey, and I'm continually amazed as my psychic strength, as my channeling abilities, as my connection to the Pleiadians deepens. I just feel this childlike joy that we all should get to feel on these journeys, because we have miraculous abilities within ourselves when we go into those places of trust, of I want to say of like of trust and ease, but also it's like I'm getting the energy of Mars, of like confident action. That's Leo as well. Like we've got a lot of really great stuff right now. So it's like confident action. So those foxes crossing my path recently really brought in the energy of like calculated risks, right? So taking the risks, but being really grounded and solid in them. So it's not like just an impulse comes in and I take the risk, but I really spend the time honing into that message and energy and feeling into it, so that I feel very grounded in every step that I take, even though I use the Mars energy of creating an acceleration in those steps. And the finale, the outcome here is door to spirit. Y'all, yes, North Star, North Node, where we're going, our destiny. And it is about the full like open portal, the veil that is barely there at this point, the veil that releases, and we live in our star light, our infinite light beings, that is ultimately the deepest connection to the cosmos, to the higher dimensions, to our guides and ancestors, to those that have transcended the human body, right? But we also get to be integrated in this physicality with it, which makes us the multidimensional beings. We get to have the journey, the emotions, even the traumas and the wounds that we work through, which ultimately means the growth and the connection in our superpower of miraculous energy and frequencies and alignments, right? And we get to do it all. We get to go through the journey, right? So it doesn't mean that suddenly, you know, wah, we open up to this portal of higher dimensions and intelligent life, and we never feel the emotionality of being human again, because we do. But that's where the growth comes in. That's where the acceleration comes in, because we get to bring that. So we continue to go higher and higher in those journeys, and the shadow does become less and less. Like we don't have to go as deep to create that transformation, to be in that space of a full like acceleration in the human journey, right? And so then we get to bring everything in this universe together into this experience. And the more that we each do this individually in our agency and on a sovereign level, the more that those that haven't reached that level, that haven't, you know, moved into those spaces of alignment, they get to just even tap into the frequency that we're holding as the light line keepers in this physicality. They get to tap in, and it becomes easier for them. And then it becomes an evolution with our children coming in. It's a really beautiful, expansive space. And like when I think of the golden age, when I feel into the golden age, which is not very far away, it's like 10 years away, I believe we are going to be levitating. Like we absolutely have that capacity and ability, and we are creating that cellular recoding and evolution right now. So the clarifier card from our earth cards is transform with raven, and ravens are so resourceful, right? So this card is really telling me, with everything we just went through, tap into your full array of resources, right? So if you find yourself going back to like what's easy for you for comfort, right? As we're moving through these deep changes, I want you to just kind of like notice, honor, and then create and imagine, right? Get into that creation energy of what other resources are available to me. Where else could I tap into for support and guidance in this space that will take me in more quantum ways? And quantum means like quick change in through dimensional energy, right? Through higher dimensional energy. Like, this is where we're going in this culture. You know, if you can't understand how we will change these systems, because as they're breaking down, like, it feels like they are so they're so strong as they're taking a lot of time to break down. Quantum shifts can move mountains in, I don't even want to say a second, like in an energy. Like, I don't, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's like a nanosecond, or like in an instant, in like the lightning strikes that are coming through with these Uranus hits. Yeah, it's like in a strike, it just happens. And that's what happens when we create this ripple effect, right? When we create a frequency of new belief systems, of like unity consciousness, of transcendence, of the like rat race game that we've all like been a part of, and we're waking up to. The truth of it is becoming so clear in our cells, right? This is the beauty of the astrological energies and the planetary effects. It helps us move deeper beyond the thinking mind, because the thinking mind is so programmed in those thoughts and those beliefs, because we've been doing it for years, right? So it's a really beautiful energy that's happening right now. And you know, I don't want it to pass you by. I'm sure you're feeling it in some way. But the more that we can work with it and from it, and be in a space of flow and trust of it, then we are going to move in those quantum ways. And we're going to hold that space and frequency for the rest of humanity as they move through their journey, because we are all here on a divine path. And we get to hold that space, but it's really about what we can do to take ourselves to the place that we share in the collective. And whatever that is for you, it's absolutely perfect. And if you are on the accelerated path with me, like, come on in. I have so many programs and free offerings and paid offerings, and I have personal readings. I have an advanced retreat coming up. Like, I have so many ways for you to move quickly through this evolution right alongside me. So check out my website, therawandwildhearts.com. You can see the links in the notes below and around, and I definitely will be having a Lionsgate portal free event coming up on August 8th, because that is where we take what's happening right now through the integration, and we move it in to the light frequency that solidifies within our new crystalline cells and bodies. That's where we're going. So let us know in the comments below, how are you feeling this energy? Like, are you feeling quick epiphanies and hits? Are you feeling kind of like buzzed up like me with all of this energy? Are you able to channel it and share it? Yeah, let us know. We really want to hear your experience, because the more we bring it all together for deeper understanding, we all remain the student and the master of this life. We get to share in these experiences together and really feel supported and guided in this acceleration on the planet. So I hope that these messages were great for you. It was a longer read, but I was feeling very called to do it today in a beautiful, surprising way. So we're in deep states of change, but I will tell you, the one thing that is not changing is my summer vibe in these overalls. Yeah, feeling it, loving it, working it. You know what I mean? Okay, y'all, sending you so much love during these times. Watch for a couple of surprises coming through today, and they're going to be real big. So until next time, don't forget to look up.